I'm about to feed him to the sharks right now. Get him hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it go. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.
Welcome to this episode of the BJJ Campaign podcast. My name is Jeff Boone. I'm an A3 purple belt, 2 stripes.
Phil Coors, A2 purple belt, 2 stripes.
Welcome back, Philly. How's it going?
It's going not good. Cheer about Marcelo.
Dude, that's awful.
Sucks. Laborio's been posting about it a lot.
I know, I saw that. For those of you in the jiu-jitsu world who didn't know, Marcelo Garcia made an Instagram post either yesterday or the day before, I can't remember which one, that he has stomach cancer and is going to be going through chemotherapy for the next 3 months. So all
he said
the
he was
prayers
like
with
having
him.
hiccups or something and then went to the doctor after he ate.
That's awful, man. Stomach cancer, not a great cancer to have.
No?
No.
Sucks.
Yeah. Really does.
Yeah. So that was not good. That popped up on my... actually, no, Scott told me about it. So I had to open up Instagram, which I never use. And then looked at that. So searched it out. So yeah, not great.
Yeah, that's a sad note. But, hopefully Marcelo Garcia, if nothing else, he is a fighter. We all know that.
Literally.
Yes. And if anyone can beat it, he can. So prayers go out to the Garcia family. Also, what's going on with the Gordon Ryan update? What's new? What's exciting?
Didn't you sign like $1 million contract or something?
With Flow Grappling.
It was with Flow?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was with Flow. 3 matches?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, Flow, because one of them's the Pena match.
Is that the only one that we know who he's competing against?
I
And then
haven't heard anything about the others.
The other guy was Francis Ngannou.
No, not inaccurate.
Oh,
Francis,
okay.
but by the way,
Could be.
Francis Ngannou no longer a UFC fighter.
That's crazy. How does that happen?
So
A lot to talk about, just so I don't forget. I've been seeing a lot of tweets with Dana White in this slap contest thing too. So just circle back. So Gordon Ryan.
Okay, we are definitely going to talk about slap fight though. So he's got 2 other matches. Who do you think would be his other matches? Like, who would be interesting with Gordon Ryan?
Nicky Rod has to be one of them.
I think that's probably going to be one of them. Yes.
And then maybe the guy who won Absolute, whoever that was. Can't remember who it was, but he did pretty well. But I don't know if he's big enough because I don't think he was a heavyweight.
Who won Absolute? What are you talking about?
Can't remember at ADCC. Somebody won Absolute, but they weren't like the biggest dude. I can't remember who it was. But other than that, off the top of my head, I don't know who else would be appealing to watch.
Did Cade Rotolo win Absolute?
No.
Weight class or the weight class?
He won his weight class.
Weight class, okay. I can't remember.
He beat Felipe Pena because that was weird.
Well, Nicky Rod beat Felipe Pena. That was for the weight class. Sorry. That wasn't the Absolute.
Yeah. Like
Yuri
Pena,
Simões.
Yeah, that does sound correct.
Yuri
Is he a
Simões is
heavyweight?
correct.
I thought he was the weight division below it. Which seems like it would be hard to compete with Gordon if you're lighter than him.
Yeah, I think... You know what? I think he was the same weight class as Gordon.
Okay.
I think.
Either way, that seems like an appealing matchup because he's good and pretty big. Because you got to be pretty big. I would like to see Nicky Rod. I wouldn't even hate to see Felipe Pena twice, though.
But styles make fights, and here's the problem with Yuri Simões. Love him. He's wonderful jiu-jitsu. He's Kaitera black belt, and he's won multiple ADCCs.
Okay.
And been a high finisher in all of them. Quite honestly, his style is boring. Mm-hmm. I don't think Flow Grappling is going to make that a marquee event with his style unless he starts doing it. Here's where I'm going.
Did Gavao retire?
Galval, yeah.
He retired after the match, right? Okay.
Competition, yeah. Here's where I'm going with it, and this may sound a little crazy.
Jake Paul.
That is incorrect. Interesting, but
Jake Paul MMA. It's like an even middle ground.
Interesting, but I'm not taking that one. And hear me out on this. Cade Rotolo is the third one in a year after he's on Mexican supplements for 8 months.
I don't know. I mean, it would depend how big he gets, but like that's the problem. Like
actually, Ty's is still bigger of the two, I think.
I think Cade's better though. Is he not?
I don't know. They're both really good.
It seems like Cade does better, but maybe it's just the size difference.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah. 2-on-1. Like I'd like to see Mikey, you know what I mean? But it's just like, what do you do when he's 150 pounds heavier than you? You know what I mean?
Did you see that? Like, Gordon was like, I can't pass his guard. Gordon was like, I don't know what to do with it. Like there is no passing his guard. His feet go everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't see that, but that's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, did you see that leg lock he put on that dude?
Dude.
He like broke every part of that guy's knee.
Dude, that guy's 12. They months. Listed. Did you follow?
Yeah, I sent you that picture with all the thing out 12 months.
Luke, yeah, with Dr. Lucius Pomerantz.
No.
Luke Pomerantz, the guy that we do. He trains with Jocko and Dean out at Victory, but he's always the one.
Guy? Yeah,
always the one at camp that wears the gloves because he's a hand surgeon, so he can't really mess up his hands, right? But yeah, he wrote a big write up. So if for those out there on Instagram, really good detailed like what was going on with it. Dr. Lucius Pomerantz is his name, and he did a detail, and it was just like there was nothing left of his knee, no tendons, ligaments left. And plus his foot, his leg was broke too. How did that guy get up?
I don't know.
He got up after the fight and walked.
It's wild. Yeah, I don't know. Just keep it straight. Just don't bend it.
12 months. Can you imagine? Why didn't he tap?
I don't know. Was there? I didn't.
Do you think that Mongolians don't know how to tap? They don't do that in Sambo? Maybe it's a different thing.
Is there a world in which he was winning in points?
No.
Yeah.
No, there was no world that happened.
So I don't know. Like if it's like I'll give up my leg, but I'm gonna win this match. All right. Otherwise, I don't know. You
know, the only thing was I was disappointed in that match because obviously Mikey was better for sure. I was disappointed that after he wrecked his leg, he kept on with the legs, and I felt like he had an opportunity to just take his back and choke him because then. There's no amount. So what if he doesn't tap? He just goes out.
Yeah.
You know, I was kind of disappointed at that, but I guess was it a 10 or 20 minute? I can't even remember.
I don't know.
I think it was a 10-minute match. I think it's a 10-minute match. Pretty sure.
I don't think they would do 20 in that.
Yeah, not at one
setting.
So I think that's why he probably just didn't. He probably took a little too much time, and then whenever he finally started going to the back and stuff, there was only like 2 minutes left, so there wasn't really much time for him to work. But yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah, that was gross.
And then that same card, Gary Tonin finishes with a Kimura.
That was a nice finish. Nice takedown and everything too.
Yes, it was.
Cool looking.
Yes, it was.
He always does cool stuff though.
Yeah. Johnny Nunez, that's the guy.
But back to the Gordon thing, I don't know, man. Like I would watch that match, but I don't think that can pull. I don't think there's anybody who thinks the Rotolo brothers could win. You know?
I think there is. I think there's
a lot of delusional people. You're right.
Yeah, I think.
But I just don't. I don't know that does the same as somebody. I think they have to milk the. It has to be Nicky Ryder Pena or like somebody.
Well, I think both. Well, the first match is Pena. I think that the second match is going to be rematch with Nicky Ryder.
So now that Gordon's made a bunch of money. What if he just loses on purpose? Because a rematch is going to be what gets the most views if he loses.
Interesting take, Phil.
Man, now I feel like he's going to lose on purpose. I like where
you're going with this.
That's where all the money is.
I don't think his
built that way
intestinal fortitude will allow him to do that.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Plus, he's already got paid. He signed the contract,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter if he wins or loses. He's
He
probably
likes
still gonna
that.
get paid
He
the
likes
same.
that being undefeated and pointing it out every year. That 61 matches since he's been beat.
So maybe after this contract, he does that. I don't know, dude. Him and Felipe have good matches.
I agree.
So I kind of would keep watching them.
I totally
and
agree,
him and
man.
Nicky Rod. And the more they probably have matches, probably the harder it gets for Gordon to stay ahead of him because they
Agreed.
just get more used to what he's doing.
Agreed. And did we point this out last time that who was out in camp with Pena at Galval's? Did I point that out last time?
I think you told me Pena went to Galval's, right?
Yeah. And Craig Jones was there.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't
camp
know
with him.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Craig's just too small, right? Because like Craig's pretty good. He's just not big enough for Gordon.
Yeah, I mean,
They used to be the same size.
they used to be the same size. Yeah. Yeah. Back in that EBI, whenever
He broke his arm or
he
whatever.
broke his arm, yeah. That they were
That
the
clip
same.
always comes up. That's always crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a great match. But yeah, he's definitely bigger. You know what? It might be a Craig Jones match. I would prefer to see Craig Jones over Yuri Simos, to be quite honest.
Yeah, same. I was just throwing somebody out as like an idea. I would rather watch Nicky Rod 3 times than one of those other people, though.
Yeah.
Nicky Rod and Felipe Pena, probably whoever is closer, give him another match. Because a lot of people want to see that rematch again after the overtime thing, you know? And then like the Felipe match didn't end the way you would want it to because he quit.
Yeah. Yeah. And he quit right whenever Gordon was asserting his dominance, which is the right time to quit. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, you can't be losing and tired.
Yeah. That's a Philism.
So, yeah. But I mean, dude, if those 3 guys had some sort of round robin thing where they had matches like once a month, I'd watch all of them. Those are people I want to see. And once other people are big enough and good enough, then I'll watch it again.
I agree.
Kind of what stinks about, like even Andrew Wiltsey or whatever, when he was doing really well, I don't know what happened to him, but like he's what, like 185 or something. So it's like, you're just too small.
Well, he actually was getting down to 160.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Andrew Wiltsey, he had a breakdown. So I
saw him posting some stuff.
He struggled with his mental health, and kudos to him. Went and got help.
Okay.
And took care of those problems. He's back on the scene. I'm super excited to see him. He's got another. I think he just cut another BJJ Fanatics instructional.
Okay.
And so he's going to be back on the competition scene. You know, I mean, you look at people who, look at Jacob Couch. He just got his black belt, right? So he's now in that division. You know, there's going to be a lot of interesting matchups coming up. I think, especially with him coming through there. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it for the Gordon Ryan update. Now let's move on to slap fighting.
Hold on, first, what happened to Francis? How can you finally get like I don't know about finally, but you get the UFC heavyweight? Like, how you just let him run away? Has he lost?
Yeah,
he's lost before. Okay.
Yeah. He lost to Stipe Miocic.
Oh, okay.
And then he won the rematch, right?
Okay.
But you know, I think that you know, Dana will pay fighters that bring in the cash, and you know, i.e. Conor McGregor, you know, Khabib, Patty the Batty, but the folks that don't really make the spike on the pay-per-views, which I don't know why. I mean, I'm going to buy all of them, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not the I'm not the one.
They're not fighting for your business.
They're not. Right. Right. And I'll watch every one that Francis Ngannou's in, but it was just like Mighty Mouse when he left on top, right? Is that those pay-per-view numbers weren't what he expected out of a heavyweight champion. And maybe he thinks with Cyril gone or with John Jones back, he's got more of an opportunity. Because look, who's a bigger draw at the box office and pay-per-view, John Jones or Francis Ngannou?
Yeah, John Jones. I would like to see them fight.
I would love to see them fight, and maybe that's a comeback fight. Who knows? But John Jones is coming back to the ring in February.
You think it's too late?
Fighting Glover Teixeira.
You think it's too late? He's
Love
been
it,
gone a
Sharon.
long
No,
time.
he's not. He's fighting Douglas. He's fighting. I don't know who he's fighting. Sorry, I don't know who he's fighting. Dude,
I don't remember either. John Jones, too late to put on all that size. Isn't he old now?
dude,
3 years, 4 years gone or something like that?
No, he was the youngest champion at the time, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so he's 33, maybe. So no,
Oh, okay.
that's not. That's prime, really.
Yeah.
If you look at it with combat sports.
Okay.
So maybe Dana was just making room, right or wrong, for a bigger box office draw,
Yeah.
right? And that it just becomes numbers then.
Yeah. So Francis has a boxing match with the other guy, the heavyweight guy, right?
Tyson Fury?
Yes.
Did they sign that? Is that happening?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I keep.
I mean, I'd
seeing
heard
people talk
rumor of
about.
that, but
Okay. That's not official.
it
If you don't know about it, it's probably.
but I
not.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, you would probably know. Okay.
I would think I
saw
would know that.
rumors and just thought it was real.
Well, I heard the rumors. I think it would be a great matchup. That'd be.
Because that would make sense to me because boxing just makes more money.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
so like go get money before you lose the heavyweight title.
right on, right? Because whatever he's getting for that Tyson Fury fight is going to be more than he's made total in the UFC altogether in his career.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Is the UFC just not big on like views and sponsorship just because they're kind of niche with the violence or something?
I think that they see the value is the art and not the person.
Okay.
I think that's the easiest way to say it.
Yeah. Everybody's replaceable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except the ones that they pay mega bucks.
Okay.
Conor McGregor's not replaceable.
Yeah.
He brings people, he brings a worldwide audience to the stage. Same thing with Patty. Same thing with Khabib.
Yeah. Okay. All right, on to the slapping.
Dude, I have been following. Admittedly, I've never watched a slap fight on. I don't even know if they're on TV yet, but on TV. But I have been watching slap fighting on my Instagram for the last 6 months. And the best thing I can equate it to is a train wreck. No, that's not the best thing. That's more sad. Let's say a NASCAR wreck, right? Where nobody gets hurt.
Right.
Well,
Which is most of them.
severely. Sometimes some of them get brain damage, right?
Yeah.
Still the same thing.
Most of the wrecks, they happen like 4 times a race. Most of them are.
Yeah, right. Most of them, they're fine, right? You can't look away from them. You don't want to look away from them. You kind of enjoy it
There's
when
a
it
reason
happens.
they show them 33 times when they
You
happen.
kind of enjoy it when it happens. That's where I'm at with slap fighting, because these guys, and look, there's no way around it. These guys are getting major brain trauma.
Dude.
It's like you see them hit and
The
the
lights
guys
just go off.
go out. They're out.
There's no shot. Like I'm watching these clips and I'm like, either I go first, and if like you don't fall down, it's like, oh, never mind, he won.
I'm out.
Yeah, he won.
I'm out.
Turns,
Forfeit.
he didn't fall over. Turns out he wins.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I saw a really funny comment that was like, oh, Dana came up. The first one was Dana and his wife.
Dude, that's terrible. I saw a similar meme as well. I was going to be a little more tactful, not bring it up. But
okay.
now that you did,
Yeah, it was funny.
it's very funny.
Can't do that.
Very-
And then not
no,
get
you
made fun of.
cannot.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it
You're
goes.
right. You're right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just think that's crazy that that's like a new thing with how much awareness and everything has been brought up about brain damage over the years.
By the way, prediction.
Take the
Probably
gloves
not
off.
a popular prediction. It's going to be wildly popular.
Until they shut it down, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Did you
wildly
see
popular.
that guy's face? That was like puffed.
Dude, is that
But, like,
photoshopped or is that real?
It's probably real, man. I don't know. It just seems like it would be real because there's so much.
It's just for the audience. This dude's face,
Like
one side of his
stung by a
face is
bee.
completely normal, and the other side looks like Rocky and Mask and twice the size. It's
so bad.
It's incredible. Like he can't see out of his eyes all swollen shut.
And so again, I don't know anything about it other than I've been watching clips with like no real volume or anything because I can't imagine that adds much.
The volume is great because the announcers are spectacular at making everything interesting.
Who are the people? Like who is signing up to do this? Do they want to be like fighters and they're just like trying to like.
No, man, they want to drink beer and slap the fuck out of people.
Drinking beer. All right, well, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah. No,
and it looks like women are doing it too.
The women, arguably better because they go down more.
They fall down more.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everyone I saw in the like little montage clip I saw, every one of them was falling down.
This one, did you see the blonde who got knocked silly?
Like back roll.
The second time and front rolled over her head.
Front roll, yeah. No, it's not good.
It's not good. I am going to watch every single one though. I will be honest with you.
What is it on? On the UFC
TBS.
package or whatever? TBS. It's on that's like a main one. It's like a family channel, if I remember.
I think it's TBS. I'm pretty sure it's TBS.
That was like a pretty family friendly channel
Not
when
anymore.
I was watching cable.
Slap fighting's coming, bitch.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Dude, I can't believe that's a thing. That's so funny. Not for the people getting hit in the face though. But I mean, I guess they're signing up. Like
they're signing up, man. And look, I mean, you know what?
And is it a tournament or like a one-on-one?
I have
Do they
no
like
idea.
keep going up the ladder like Mortal Kombat?
I'm not that interested in the format. I'm just interested in seeing people slap each other.
Highlights? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's wild. I don't usually get involved in the UFC stuff, but there's been a lot of news between the Francis stuff and then the slap fighting kind of came across my Twitter today, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I've seen some of the stuff before, but I've never seen like Dana White sitting there on cable TV, and I'm like, this is a real thing? I thought this was like a meme trick trend thing for online, but apparently it's real.
Is this a subsidiary of the UFC, I wonder?
I don't know. I mean,
or is he doing his own thing here, not with Frank and Lorenzo? Oh, well, I guess Frank and Lorenzo are out of it anyway, aren't they? Fertitas, they sold it.
I don't know. I would be worried this brings lawsuits that affect the UFC somehow, that I wouldn't want it to be connected. But like, if he's sitting in the front row, I'm connecting it.
Right.
So I'm sure everybody else is.
Well, look, I'm sure those contracts have plenty of language surrounding that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, all right, let's start talking about jiu-jitsu. But first, before I start talking about jiu-jitsu.
There's slapping in jiu-jitsu sometimes.
There is slapping in jiu-jitsu sometimes. You're right. Combat jiu-jitsu. I just finished up that new David Goggins book, Never Finished.
Okay.
Do you know he had a new one out?
No, I knew about Can't Hurt Me, I believe.
Can't Hurt Me. It was good. Can't Hurt Me was good. This one is great.
Okay.
And there was a lot of I'm sure everyone that's listening, all 10 people that are listening, know who David Goggins is. I'm sure Chris knows who it is. But David Goggins, for those who don't know, he's the 1% of the 1% and is hard as fuck and just it does a lot of things. And in that, he talks a lot. He went through a lot of injuries since, I think Can't Hurt Me was 2016 came out, and this one's just now coming out. And so basically, the injuries that he had sustained, or maybe it was 2018. I'm sorry, I said 16.
Yeah, I was going to say
2018.
I didn't feel like it was that.
It's 2018. So this is chronicling like 19, 20, 21, where it was really some of his hardest years with regards to injuries, because of the toll his body has taken over the years.
Makes sense.
Right. And it chronicles how he, tore his partial tear on his ACL and tore his MCL and his medial and lateral collateral. So his I think it was left knee, tore all those ligaments and did rehab, and 12 months later did a 240-mile race.
Yeah.
And it kind of chronicles that along with a lot of other stuff that was really good. But his first time back, I think it was his first one back, it was 2020 because it was just the beginning of the pandemic. But the Moab 240, it's over 30,000 feet change in elevation. So a lot of uphills, a lot of downhills. And you know, he was basically recovering and training for this distance for that year, 9 months actually, I think is what the time was between that. And that was, you know, he was talking about it, whenever it finally gave way was in his rural firefighting. He does that parachute jumper firefighter up in the Northwest.
Okay.
You know, in the winter for 5 months. And he caught a log and tore everything and just completely tore it apart. And then when he was on his way to the hospital to get checked out, he told his, I think it's his girlfriend, Jennifer, he goes, I'm going to do the Moab 240. She's like, that's 9 months away and your knee's trash. He goes, yep. It's like, I'm going to do it. So he set very ostentatious goals. And I liked his reasoning behind it because he said, you know, there really is no failure. And I kind of course, I'm going to see it through the lens of jiu-jitsu all the time. And that there really is no failure in this because every obstacle that I overcome to get as close as I can to that goal is going to be something that I would need to do anyway. Meaning that, like, if you're recovering from a jiu-jitsu injury, you know, setting a goal of whether it's competition or something else, you know, that's going to make you come in more frequently. It's going to make you tighten down your diet. It's going to make you take more serious your mental training, your physical training, and kind of make those milestones even more important whenever actually the milestones themselves are the goals. Right. And, so fast forward, and I'm leaving a lot out, and please, I'm not trying to give any spoilers out here because please, this is not even a hundredth of the book, but it's just one evolution in the book. That's what he calls his chapters, is evolutions. And so fast forward to Moab 240, and he basically runs the first 73 miles, and he's in second place out of, I don't know how many, 200, maybe 80 maybe. I think 80 is what he said he did it. And then his pacer takes a wrong turn. So he goes another 15 miles basically, and then has to get back on the course and then go from that 73 miles where he was, even though he'd done 88 miles. Right.
Yeah.
And you know, it takes you through a lot of stuff. And he, every time that he thought about giving up, and again, seeing it through the lens of the eye of jiu-jitsu, is that he just said, I just got to take one more step. I likened that to, all right, just survive 10 more seconds in this position. Mm-hmm. Just make it, just do that. And the way he did that was, you know how you have zone heart rate training, right? So, you got your 1 zone, which is, you're really basically doing nothing. Your 2-3 zone where you're having physical activities, but you can do it. And then your 4-5 zone is peaked. It's your peak performance, right? It's when your heart rate's the highest. He said he does that same thing with his mental zones. Like whenever found out that they were on the wrong track, he lost his mind and went to zone 5 in his mind, And he said, it took me 1 second to see that I was at zone 5. And in order to be able to finish this race, I had to bring it down below 2. Mm-hmm. So like whenever you're in that bad position, if somebody's, dominating you in a top position where all you want to do is provide a way out, just taking that from that level or zone 5 in your head down to zone 2. So that's, again, kind of the lessons that I'm trying to take out of this. And then, so fast forward, he basically gets to, he's done 215 miles, and they're at the top of this peak that's 10,300 feet. And he gets high altitude something. It's high altitude where your body's in shutdown, and he also has the sickle cell trait too, so which is worse for elevation and all that stuff. So he gets this and has to DNF and goes to the hospital. They give him treatment for that high altitude. Shoot, I can't remember what it is. Really bad with your lungs. You can't breathe anymore. Your lungs fill with water, basically. Okay. It's for fluid, not water. Your lungs fill with fluid. So they went to the hospital, and he was treated. He got, they were like, yeah, you do have this, which is, can have an embolism. You can die right out. People have died from it. And that's what ultra marathons, if they die, that's what they die from. It's high altitude. And so he did it, and he was sitting there, and they'd spent, a couple hours in the ER, and he was like, he looked at Kish, is what he calls her, and says,
drop me back off.
Let's go. So they go, he's already DNF, so he's not going to cross the finish line. He's going to cross the finish line in the time that they'd set for it, but obviously going off the trail for any medical intervention, it wasn't there, and so he went and finished, and that one more step, that's highly recommended. I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but that was a story that stuck with me, and kind of like how I equated it to what it meant in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Is he the one that says you can do anything for like 10 seconds?
I don't know. Anything for 10 seconds? I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard him. He broke the pull-up record when he did that.
That's like the your bike out there.
What's that?
It's like your bike out there.
I can do that for 10 seconds.
That's what I would tell myself. You can do anything. You can do anything for 10 seconds, no matter how bad it sucks. 10 seconds.
It does suck, though. It's a terrible 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
It's a terrible 2 minutes after, too.
Yeah. No, they're not nearly as bad. I think he said something like that. I'm sure he has, but
I'm sure he has.
I don't know if that's where I got that, but yeah, I think it was 10 seconds. Maybe it was 5 seconds, something like that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So definitely go out and get the book. I mean, it's an incredible read.
I like that guy.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes it's a little overkill on some stuff. He had one video that popped up recently for me where he was like, yeah, I felt like a bitch. So what I did was, because of the way I was thinking, I just started saying all my thoughts out loud and recording myself. And then I went back and listened to it. And I felt awful about what I said. So I went out and did all the stuff I said I didn't want to do.
He goes over that in the book too. It's a big part of what he does too.
That's why you got to keep those things in here. I mean, you can't say them out loud. They sound real bad. I don't want to do that.
He's like, I played it back and I sounded like a bitch. It's like, I would have been no motherfucker. And I was. But there was another thing that I loved about it. And that was, he used a foxhole analogy, is the friends that you have or your training partners or anything like that are you deem worthy of being in a foxhole with you, because you have to count on them. And the role that they play, the role that they played, like he was talking specifically about his pacers and the role that they played in his success and finishing these things and everything else. And, pointing out that they're not all, it's not really ever what you want to hear, always want to hear. Right. But it's always what you need to hear. And they always push you to what you think your limit is and beyond to do that. So I feel like that there's a lot of parallels in jiu-jitsu with your training partners, to have that, the importance of having that with some of your training partners that you do. And I kind of quickly pivoted to jiu-jitsu with regards to those in the foxhole, because most of the training partners we have are those people that you'd want in the foxhole with you. So, and he was talking, and this last one was the same. It was the same race, or no, it was another race, but it was one of the last legs of the 240, and it was one of his fastest pacers, and this guy was pretty fresh, and he was at the the last 60 mile or 40 miles of the 240, and he was like, Goggins said fuck it, and he dug down a deeper and ran the fastest 40 miles that he'd run in the whole race to try and drop that guy, to try and drop his training partner. And he did. And he was like, he goes, that motherfucker was pissed. And you know what? He came back and he did it right to me. It's like, it's like, so, whenever I kind of equate that to like, whenever you turn stuff up, especially if you're getting ready for competition or something on people, that's going to be fuel, or what he says, scraps for the dog in you. And so I thought there was a lot of parallels that you could draw from jiu-jitsu and doing things hard,
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Great. You read any books lately aside from commercial real estate books?
No, not really. Nothing interesting.
No. Oh, also want to point out for those people that listen to jiu-jitsu podcasts, obviously you, the audience, are those people. David, you remember David from Origin Camp from Texas? He's got actually 3 or 4 out now. He did. Who did he do?
With
both of them.
Diane, David and Diane.
No. David from Texas that trains with Rodrigo and
the guy who hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, the guy hurt his shoulder.
Okay, different David.
And
I was thinking of Jerry's people.
Yeah, and what's the other one? Oh, God, I can't believe I forgot his name. The guy who was training for Worlds while he was there.
Formiga.
Yeah, sorry, Formiga. So you had Formiga, Rodrigo. He's got like 4 or 5 really good ones. Cool. BJJ Executive podcast, because he talks about leadership. He's an executive of some sort. I don't know what.
Okay.
But kind of balancing that work-life balance with jiu-jitsu. And dude, his production was on point from the start. Like he was good, and
you got to pick one, either really great content or great production, right?
Nah, his content's really good too. He's just better than us. It's fine. I don't mind. But yeah, I think he's got 4 or 5 out there, and I've listened to a few of them, and they're really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So give that a listen. What else? What's next, Phil?
I don't know how much time we got. Where are we at? I feel like we talked a lot about slap fighting.
That was a good 10 minutes on slap fighting. It should have been 20. You want to go back to it?
Yeah, I want to think about it.
No, we're good on time. I mean, we're fine on time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what else I had to explore this week. I don't know what else to explore this week.
Okay.
My next thing that I'm going to explore is just playing with wrist locks.
Oh.
I think I'm finally there.
Yes.
I think I'm finally there.
You're not finally there unless you watch the Pete the Greek and Bernardo Faria.
I haven't watched it.
Dude, watch that YouTube video.
I've seen the video. I haven't seen that. You have the one video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. I want to.
Yeah,
or at least part of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But it's like, so let's take it back to what you'd said earlier before we started the podcast, that you're a rote learner and a conceptual teacher.
That's right. Yes. I learned step by step.
The wrist locks, they're all the same.
That's what I'm kind of
that's
already
so
thinking.
Appealing.
There's only so many ways to move this
that's
thing.
what's appealing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've always loved them.
It's because I can't understand stuff, but then once I understand it, I think I can typically break it down to at least this is how I understand it. This is the only way that makes sense to me because my brain is slow. So if I can understand this, I think you can.
Why don't you flip around that and be a conceptual learner?
It's just the slow moving. It just doesn't pick up things that way. I think I'm getting better at it. I'm looking for it more. I understand its value a lot more now.
Yeah.
I just didn't understand why it was so much more valuable to learn that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like you see it, like you see, so there's so many examples of it. You see everything as the same whenever you do it. It's like there's 3 things and these are all the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think all right, so let's do a throwback question. And I have no answer for this right now. What's your favorite concept in jiu-jitsu?
My favorite
panic and like not even think what my favorite one is. I'm just scrambling trying to come up with one.
So I've got 3.
I love it. Go ahead.
Okay, because these all,
I'm gonna
and
pick them
it's
apart.
the concept of the hierarchy of all jiu-jitsu, right? It's grips, position, submission, or defense, right? So before you do anything, which meaning if you're defending or if you're on the offense, you have to make the grips to do it. To do whatever you're going to do, you have to have your grips, right? And then off those grips, if you're defending, right, then you've got to position yourself or make the position that you're going to do in order for that defense, meaning setting up that position, setting up where you're going with it. And same thing whenever you're passing or being offensive, that position means you're either getting closer or further away from someone. Right. And then submission or defense, that's just the execution of whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're defending or on the offense. So that's my favorite overall hierarchy of jiu-jitsu concept. What's yours? Obviously, you still got a blank look on your face.
I have one in my head right now, and I want to see if it's one of your favorites because I just remembered it. But go ahead.
No, those were the 3. That was it.
You did one.
Grips, position, submission. That's the hierarchy. The 3.
It's not 3 concepts. That's one concept.
It's one concept. Yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay. I'm going to hit you with another one.
All right.
I feel like you're going to say it's your favorite.
Okay.
Can't be heavy everywhere.
Okay. Oh, I love that one.
I knew you do. I know
love
it.
that one.
I know it.
Yes.
It was a good one.
This is great. And again, that goes along with position and what I just broke down as the overall hierarchy of jiu-jitsu. It's that position is whenever you're committing that person to a position, they can't be heavy everywhere if you're defending, right? So you got to find that position where you can exploit that.
Another one that changed everything for me.
Yeah.
Don't let them do what they're trying to do.
That was a Marcelo Garcia right there.
Probably doing something on purpose. Don't let them do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Love that one.
Yeah.
That's good. Those are good ones. I love that not being heavy everywhere though.
Don't
That's
let them smash your face. Just general concept, side control, roll-ins, block the arm.
That's right.
Don't let them
You're
smash.
right.
Don't
You're
let
right.
them smash your face.
That's
It does
right.
2 things. Your face doesn't get smashed, and they usually get frustrated.
That's right.
And
You're
move
right.
on.
That's so good. So good. There's so many of them.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
That's funny.
Different light bulb moments for me.
I know, right? There's so many. And it's so funny whenever you've been saying it to someone for a while and then they have the light bulb moment. You're like, yes.
Dude, another one I just had, because some people have been working on a list for a test. I do all the sweeps backwards. And like looking back, I'm like, oh, this is a major reason why I struggled so bad with them. Because nobody was like, hey, dude, do it the other way. You suck at it, just suck at it the way everybody else does it. So that way you're not fighting it. So like when I scissor sleep, I want to do it with my right leg on top.
What?
Nobody said that to me until way too late. I've known it for like a year or 2 now. But like, because somebody said something, I'm like, oh, I like to go the other way. And then Joey just goes, well, they want to go this way, so I want to sweep them that way because they're already going that way. And I was like,
Yeah.
Dang, that makes a lot of sense. So that's why I was doing it. Like, I think that's a major reason why I struggle with sweeps because I was fighting. Like, they don't even want to go that way. And I'm trying to, like,
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Stay with me here, though.
So Saturday morning,
it might benefit you in the future from that knowledge.
So here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. I'm really good at my bad side right now. I just don't have a good side yet because I think last Saturday morning I might have done 40 scissor sweeps before class. I was like, let me just do this a bunch of times because I'm real far behind on how I need to be doing this.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I hip bumped the wrong. I don't care that I hip bumped that way.
Hip bump doesn't. Your hip bump's great.
Because the guillotine is with my. Most people hip bump to the left. I go to to the right. I go to the left, which allows my guillotine to be there with my hand. I want to come.
That's right. You do.
Yeah. And I like to wrap the guillotine off the same thing, but I cannot guillotine.
Did you
with my
always
left hand.
hip bump to your left?
I've never changed anything. And I flower sweep to the left. That's the reason that's the only sweep I hit.
Well, yeah, flower sweep's supposed to be done to the left.
Yeah, because it's the only one I do on timing.
Okay.
That's why it's the only one that works. Yeah. No, I've been frustrated about this for recently. I've been thinking about it.
I have actually done a flower sweep to the right though, because they try to break guard differently.
2 people have been doing this backwards.
I like it though when they do it because I
know
like to
Ryan's
practice
always
that.
done it. Someone else did it to me back. You know who it was? It was Brent.
Was it?
Vincent or whatever. I was like, he started breaking my guard lefty, and I was like, oh, dude, what are you doing to me?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, it's just something. So now, like, that's kind of one of the things I'm working on is like relearning sweeps the way that should be easier. It was the butterfly sweep that actually re-brought that back up because I'm like, I butterfly sweep this way because I want my right leg. Yeah, because I want my right leg in there because it's my stronger leg. It's my lifting leg. You know, that's just how I naturally wanted to do it. I wanted to kick the scissor sweep. I wanted to kick with this leg. And for whatever reason, I never heard anybody be like, hey, why don't you try it the other way? You know? And maybe they did. And I was like, I don't like it.
I feel like butterfly sweep is not as important directionally.
Because they're on their knees. Usually if I go for that sweep, yeah. But to their point, typically people are shifting and they're going that way.
Totally agree.
I should just go that way. Because like, I always tell people, like, why are you fighting people? Just go the way they want to go. And here I am.
Fighting people, not going the way
mirror, dude. Just hold it up sometimes, you know?
You're so terrible
yeah,
at that.
dude. It's frustrating.
So
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. When all these lefties finally come in the gym, though, and they all start going, they are in trouble.
Phil.
Yeah, but you don't pass left-handed. You pass right-handed. When these left-handed passers come in, they are in trouble.
Bad trouble. You're the only one that's going to be able to sweep them. Oh, that's great.
So that's what I'm working on. And wrist locks. And wrist locks came up because just to deal with that, like, I don't really care about finishing any wrist locks. Just to deal with some of the stalemating, you know? With like strong grip stuff, just a little like make a move, you know?
It's such a distraction. It's such a distraction is what it is. And then look, whenever you get a wrist lock, what's their reaction going to be? It's going to be to take their arm away from their body. Well, if their arm's away from their body, you've got a better chance to attack it.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's what I was just kind of play with. I don't I haven't watched a video. Like I don't have a set strategy in mind necessarily to attack with or when or where, but I kind of just want to start grabbing them and kind of looking for some like pattern that I see maybe that sets something up that like they always do this.
Yeah.
You know? No,
it's great. It's a great distraction. I've loved them. I mean,
I know. And when you did it, it's really annoying when someone is like constantly doing it and like you're having to always be dealing with it.
Well, you know who taught us both that and you just never listened.
It will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I listened.
No, you didn't.
I mean, I heard it.
Yes, you did hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't say hear. I know you heard it. You just didn't listen. Whenever I was like, oh, this guy who's really good that does wrist locks all the time, I should probably be better than I am now. So why don't I try what he does in a really poor manner for a little while until I get better at it?
Yeah. Plus now that like, I don't know. So I think some of the stuff is funny. Like people consider them dirty and now I think that's funny.
They're hilarious.
Yeah. So like that's where I am now. You know, I wasn't there before.
But they've always been hilarious.
Yeah. I wasn't there before. Before I was like, yeah, I get it. It's kind of cheap or whatever. And I'd skip over it. And now I think it's funny. Also, Jeremy Rell said he broke that dude's wrist and then lost because the guy didn't care.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
On the podcast, he told that story.
Yeah, I remember.
He's like, yeah, I committed to it. I broke his wrist and he like passed my guard or whatever it was and I lost. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
That kind of stuck with me too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I've been practicing that Jeremy Arell move that
I think he
shoulder
showed that
lock.
at a seminar recently.
Did he? I love that one. I was going through it with John the other day just because I was like, I got to remember this because I was in it and I got it. And I was like, oh, I got to go back over that setup. And it's really good.
I think it was last Saturday. He was at Shell
Shock?
Yeah. Are they moving? I thought I saw a Facebook post like they were moving or expanding or something, but I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. That place is pretty big that they got.
Okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Same place that you know of?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen. I'll look. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen. But
it looked like Jeremy was up there.
Yeah, I knew he had a seminar up there. Yeah.
And I assume that's what he was showing, but maybe that was just like they just said side control or something. But
if it's side control, I guarantee he's showing it. That was slick as shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, Philly, tell the folks how to support us if they choose to do so.
Listen to the podcast and tell your friends about it.
Good move. Good move. And if you're out there not doing something to make yourself better each and every day, do it. Phil and I choose jiu-jitsu. We hope you do too.
I'm about to feed them to the sharks right now. Get them hype right now. Yeah. You know the ground is up. Yeah. Everybody that trains, you know the game. Yeah. So let's get it. Slap it up, bump it, and roll. Hey. Yeah, that's the way that it goes. Ain't no better way to better yourself in this game. You're feeling the growth. That's time on the mat. We put in the work. Believe it ain't easy, I know. But we train for the love of the game, the love of the art. Now slap it up, bump it, let's roll.